but it's been through a lot of peanuts. Here's some gloves. I always send these with the trailer. This is normally a two-man job. You can do it by yourself, but it's a lot easier if you have somebody there to hold that screwdriver. This here would normally be really hot, so you wouldn't be able to grab it with your hands. You force it down, lift up the lip. Lift the lip, and slide it over. He's going to be able to catch it.
Oh, you just... So, you know, again, it's still in motion, so that's what spits those peanuts out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if I let go of this, you got it right?
Yep. It's going to relock and be ready to go. Lock and move.
Okay. So if you're dumping and you miss it, you're going to lose some peanuts because it's going to go up and around the top again.
Can you do that routine just one more time?
Yep.
Thanks. Sorry. Okay.
It's a very powerful machine.
It's very heavy. And let it go. Okay. Good.
Door back over. You're done roasting peanuts. You know what? Show them how to check them.
Alright, basically, what you want to do, the peanuts will be stirring around in there. This spoon will always be with the trailer. You're just going to reach in here and the peanut just pull one out. And then when it's on the spoon, it's going to be hot, so have a glove on or whatever. My hands are really like leather. You're going to open them up and you're going to check to see the clarity. Of course, we didn't have them in long, so they're not done. When you break it open, you'll see a white line. When the white line is gone, it needs to come out. Because they're going to continue to cook 20 minutes after you pull them out. I missed that. The white line?
They want to see the white line.
There'll be a white meat in there. You'll see the difference in color of the white meat. Get a close-up of this.
I'm trying.
Here are the roasted ones.
It's hot out here.
So his red shell came off real easy. Mine don't.
Right.
Okay.
See how white that is? You'll see a different. As that cooks, it'll start
see that
cooking
line
on the
in
outside.
center. Yep. Right.
When the white, it'll be almost all but gone.
Yep. And it's spongy to the touch.
Okay.
His is hard to the touch.
Yep. See how they
His will
crumble?
crack. Mine will just kind of bend and pull apart.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
is it like usually 14 minutes or is you pushing close to 20? Like
Well,
really?
you always want to check at 14, no matter what.
That's correct.
So even the first batch, 14 minutes, check, because you want to get into that routine as you keep doing them over and over. And then 14 minutes, check. Your first batch is probably going to take the upper end
20.
of 22, 25, you know, depending on, are the peanuts wet? Moisture.
Humidity.
Yep.
You have a nice
If it's-
dry, no humidity.
If it's
gonna
real
cook.
hot,
So
Dry.
all night while we're working this, we leave this running.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
on the
you
whole
can
time.
shut the switch off.
I was going to say switch.
Over here's the switch to shut it off.
Okay.
Say you're done. Say, okay, I have enough peanuts.
Yeah.
Okay. You can shut this switch off, but be careful, of course, of the gears. That switch is now off.
Okay.
But your pallet light is still lit. You can let that light all night.
And then just turn that back on.
And turn it back on and say, okay, I'm running low on peanuts. The machine isn't going to cool down a whole lot. Turn it back on. It's ready to roll.
Okay.
At the end of the night, though, or before you leave, shut this gas valve off.
Just at the end of the night.
At the end of the night. That'll shut off your pallet. Not, you'll have to relight your pallet every time.
Late shift, so we'll be shutting it off.
So you'll have to relight your pallet every time you shut that off.
Alright.
Alright? Wind has a lot to do with everything, too. But
There's a possibility we can leave
So at the end of the night, they want to shut off.
shut off the switch,
Switch.
if it's not already off.
and your gas.
Right.
And then turn the gas valve off, which will shut off your roaster. But I'll leave that on.
Now, what about covering it?
Covering it is just
Can't
the
cover
tarp.
it.
I can't do that now because it's hot. You'll see it when it's up there because it will be covered. You want to make sure you cover the gears. and thermostat and gas valve. But the whole thing, the tarp's big enough to cover the whole thing. All you got to do is run the straps around.
How long? Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
I think it was down for like half an hour or so before,
Not bad.
and I have a piece of cardboard I lay over top. It helps keep the tarp from getting a hole in it. Now here's a thing that we didn't show you. As these go and you have them in the barrel and they're hot, you want to pour them into the holy buckets. Put half in that one, put half in another, and you can start dipping them actually pretty much right away. But if you're not going to be able to get to them right away, you want to, all right, they're cooling, say they've been there a while. Take your third bucket, and you want to get the heat out of the bottom of them. So you're going to pick this up and take that one, you bring your hot peanuts to the top. And the same thing with this one. They'll cool a little bit faster for you. You won't have that chance of over roasting. Okay?
How often should you do that?
You'll be bagging them, so it won't last very. I would do it probably once every 5 minutes or so, but they'll cook for 20 more minutes or so after they come out of that.
So don't let them just sit in the tub.
Get them in your small bags. That way they're going to cool. There's less in the bag.
Good.
And just leave them open a little bit to let the heat out.
Good. Good.
Leave the bags open. Leave them just open a little bit. You know, you don't want to close them tight because of moisture in there still coming out. So, and I have a little trick that I do when I was selling them here is if you have it sitting here idle and you want to keep a few warm, throw a few bags up on top.
Yep.
Keep them warm. People think they're fresher than what they really are. I mean, sometimes you get ahead, you know?
Okay.
That's just a little trick that I've found that people like to feel the warmth from the peanut, especially when it gets cooler out.
And it won't, like, cook them all up?
No, when you have the machine off, just sitting there idle and say you're caught up and you're not going to make another batch for a couple minutes.
Just leave them up there.
Just throw 4 bags up there.
Yeah, don't put them on
While
while the thing is fired up.
Because you'll have flames.
You'll burn the bag.
Okay.
Because the flame does come around the outside of the machine.
If we get ahead, should we shut it down?
Just shut it off. Let your gas valve on.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be climbing underneath there more than once a day to turn it on.
Right.
I mean, if you find that you have 40 pounds of peanuts and you don't think you're going to make any more, it's okay to shut it off. You know?
Remember, if you do shut it off, depending on the length of time, yes, it's not going to cool down right away.
Yeah.
But again, 14 minutes is the time to check. So if it's been idle and not roasting for 15 or 20 minutes, you know, you're going to have more time to get it up to temperature when you do turn it back on, and that batch may take that 20 minutes again, or 22, depending on how long you had that thing turned off. So
But
just
still check them at 14.
Yeah.
though.
14.
always
And
check
about
the
5
date.
minutes afterwards, and then I go to 2 after that because they're going to be really
Yeah.
close. Okay?
Yeah, just keep on them.
You're going to get a feel for it. After your first batch, you go, oh, wow, they were a little dark. I need to get them out a little sooner. You'll look at it a little better. You know, it's just a lot of things to try to remember. But even I cook them dark. I mean, I've made probably 300 batches of peanuts. And my first couple batches are a little dark.
What are you doing the second week in August? We'll come help you.
Now, the one thing we didn't tell you too, the first batch that comes out of here, don't be alarmed. Your peanuts are going to look like zebras when they come out. Because all the carbon that's built up in here will give you the line effect on all the peanuts.
Just the first one. So the 2 buckets in.
Yep.
That might be just eaters or giveawayers for you. Something.
I mean, they look kind of ugly.
But they're not. But there's
The
nothing wrong
peanuts
with them.
still roasted. They still taste good, but they are going to have black line.
Yeah.
Just from hitting the metal.
In the middle of that all the paddles.
Okay.
Will that tank need to be refilled throughout the week?
No.
We fill it up, and you will probably not even use half.
Really?
Maybe 3. No, half.
Right. If you let it set and idle, if you let it run the whole time, yeah, you'll probably have to refill. But if you make a couple batches, shut it off, just let the pile light on. You gotta sort of feel your day, you know. It's like, well, it's really busy. I need to make more. Nah, I don't think I'm gonna eat any more. I'm just gonna let it run out, let it cool down, and shut it off. That's about it.
Any questions?
Yeah, could you do that like the beginning again? We just had like a couple of just